everyone, welcome to Katharine's Creatures. This is episode 57, and in this series we get to touch base and talk about various mythological beasts, beings, and the like, pulled from lore worldwide. And I always like to preface by saying that I am not a linguist, and so there's always a chance that I may mispronounce something, and I do apologize in advance. Now, with that said, I kind of want to talk about this creature called, originally, the Orabou, I think is how you pronounce it, though nowadays is called the Orobon. We'll get to that in a moment. But in 1575, a Franciscan friar, also a French historian, by the name of André, I think it's Thevet, put out a book called the Cosmographie Universelle. And in this book, he just talks about a lot of different things, including an interesting creature that had never really been heard of before, at least to readers in Europe. And so this Orabou, or now Orobon, which they think the Orobon is probably a misspelling, though it is the most popular use nowadays for it. Just a side tangent. But this creature he wrote about came from the Mediterranean and North Africa area. In particular, he saw it around a mountain, Marzouan? I have no idea how to pronounce that one. I'll try to put it in the information below, because good luck. But when he was exploring he was writing about the area and saying that these creatures existed, and they are a water-based beast. Think of a fusion between some kind of cat-like creature and a giant reptile that lives in and around the water. Now, the Orobon have large humps, big webbed clawed-like hands, a face very felid in form, again very cat-like, and are supposedly covered in, I think the way it was described as a sturgeon's scales. So this humped aquatic thing tends to fish and be very violent to the other fish in its territory. I guess based in these notes about this creature and its sighting is that they must have caught one and tried to eat it. And the note was both the fact that the meat of this fish or reptile or whatever you wanted to categorize it was very foul tasting, to the point, or as well as the fact that it was so vile that would cause the consumer to get kidney stones. So not one I would recommend for your dinner table. The Orobon are actually a sizable creature, and they range from like 9 to 10 feet, or I guess in the flip side, around 3 meters in length. But like I said, there haven't been a lot of information about it since this big documentation of these creatures. And so I know some cryptid fans categorize it as one of those, well, a cryptid, so a beast that potentially still exists or does exist, though rarely, if ever, gets spotted along with Nessie and Sasquatch and other kind of creatures like that way. But for the most part, it's pretty much there haven't been a lot of documentation on this creature at all. In modern myth and lore, there have been a couple times where other people have used the Orobon, but again, it's a lesser known creature. I actually chose, because of that fact, to write it into one of my books, the 12 Tasks. There you go, the 12 Tasks. So the book one of the Gen Chronicles, I wanted to use the Orobon in it, because not a lot of people talk about it. So there are lots of cool, though, sketch artists of it, so do check that out. The design of what the Orobon might look like is pretty neat. Now, with that said, if you have any questions about this or anything else, post them in the comments below, or just post them in the comments below. I don't know, I mind blanked there. Sorry, everyone. And until next time, Skull.